Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are continuing our trip at the bins from May. I know, it's been a while. We were only there in the morning. This is the bins in Bridgeton, Missouri, not Bridgerton, which I continuously call it because of the show. This is Bridgeton, Missouri. It is right outside St. Louis. Yes, I have been to the bins in St. Louis, but I don't care for them as much. This is a much more chill bins experience versus the inner city. Even Indianapolis bins, inside Indianapolis bins are very busy. Even the ones on the outside, the outskirts of Indianapolis that we like, I think it's like Greenview, Greenwood, Green something. That one is clean but is very busy. People are pushy. Right now, I'm standing at the edge of a bin. It's the end of the day. My cart is overflowing. So I'm going through and I'm checking comps on eBay. It's not as time consuming as you think it is because some of the stuff you just know and some of the stuff you don't. In the back corner, you can kind of see my 14-year-old. He's going to walk, well, he's 15 now, but my 14-year-old at the time, he's going to walk up to me. He has a cart full of Nerf guns. I really like this sheet. I don't remember if I ended up getting it or not. Not to resell. My mom uses flannel sheets for herself, for her own personal needs, and she goes through them a lot, kills them with bleach and stuff. So I tend to pick up flannel sheets as much as possible for her to use because they are cheap. I throw this towel back. And this is a towel that I tell a lady that it has a big stain on it. It has a big stain on it. It is actually worth money. It is if you saw in the corner, it's got like a artist's name on it. But you kind of just saw on the back. Let's see if I'll show it on camera. It has black paint all over the back of it. So that kills the resale value. Now, I did get this one. It's worth a little bit of money, but it is a dang good beach towel. So I ended up keeping it. We are very much aquatic creatures in the summer, and mommy needs to splurge and get herself a really nice beach towel. So that's what I did. I think we got this towel too. It's another heavier towel. Again, these are heavy, but they're not going to be over 1 pound. So and these are the beach towels. These aren't the ones that you're going to get for $5 at Walmart. These are the ones you pay like $20 for. You go more upscale and go to like Sam's Club. And I know for those of you that are listening, that's probably ridiculous, but it's like, oh, this is the more bougie beach towels. I didn't even bother looking this up. I just picked it up. It weighs nothing. It's got the artist on the back. It's signed. So I went ahead and grabbed it. It's a cute picture. It's a lighthouse in the forest. I'm going to say Maine in my mind. My 14-year-old is slyly putting Nerf guns into my cart. Also with the bins, you have to remember that you need to separate ceramics, glass, figurines, all of that. That is a separate price. It is much, much less. When I think it's like $1.89 per hard good and clothing, but it's like 40 cents per glass and ceramics. So dinnerware, all that. He keeps loading my cart up with my hand's in the way now, but I think I have 6 or 7 Nerf guns in my cart that he had found. He is going through and testing them all. He found a couple, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. He found a couple of things that they shoot across the room. And he's been going through and testing them. So that is his Nerf gun haul so far. His cart was really full of Nerf guns. What's so funny is he picked out those Ninja Turtle pajama pants, and by the time we got around to like washing them so he could wear them, he had outgrown them. And that is why we buy clothes at the bins, folks, because kids grow fast. I didn't know what they were. He's a computer kid, so I'm like, what are these? I think he said they're graphics cards. I'm not 100, but I'm like, hey, they look kind of interesting, so let's, look at that, go through this. This is the fitted sheet to the flat sheet that I threw back. I think I throw the fitted sheet back too. I threw the flat sheet back because it was stained and the pillowcase was yellowing, and sometimes it's not worth getting the yellow out. I guess I keep the fitted sheet. Let's see, what else do I have here? This bag I actually kept, and I use it for myself. I didn't get it to resell. Also with this, and as you see me start shoving things into bags, they do not have bags here. There are no bags at this outlet. People will pick up bags in the bins and just start filling them up. We went to the Cabela's, which is like right across the street, and got a bunch of $1 bags our first time there. And we used those. We didn't bring those with us because we didn't think we'd get that much, because we're like, we're only going there from the 10 to 1. So the morning opening is 10 to 1. It's 3 to 6 at the evening, which I really like. Some people might not like it because there are no bins turnovers here. What you see is what you get. There's really no employees on the floor, period. There is just employees at the cashiers, but there's really no employees to like moving things on and off the floor. So they don't rotate any bins. That is why after about the first 20 minutes, it clears out so fast. There are so many, it's a very long line to get in. It wraps around the building, but within 20 minutes, you can have entire rows to yourself. People hit it like locusts. They just swarm. They hit the bins they want, and they move on. This is another bag I pulled to start putting stuff in. I also kept this bag. I am such a bag person. That's maybe my toxic trait, is an addiction to bags. Jean fabric. I will sell fabrics in craft lots, so like craft lot of fabric. That's also an idea too, if you have clothing that is not really sellable because there's damage to it or there's rips or whatever. I oftentimes will, especially if it's cotton clothing or men's dress shirts with patterns on them, I will cut them into like the largest square possible. I get that because it is a vintage sheet. I cut them into the largest square possible, and then I'll lot them together as a craft lot, because those clothes aren't going to be worn by anybody anyway. Yes, I could donate them to the like bins that you donate to in like parking lots and stuff that just end up paying per pound and getting rid of it. I could drop it off there, but no thrift store in my area would take damaged goods. So a lot of times I will just cut those. I will cut the buttons off of them if they're men's dress shirts. Not like snap buttons, but buttons. I'll cut those off and we'll lot those up too. So again, I don't know. My family often jokes that I must have, like, in a past life lived through like a Great Depression. So I'm like, don't throw that away. We can use this. Also, it leads to hoarding. So I guess do throw that away because we don't want it to lead to hoarding. But that is, I guess, another toxic trait. I hoard bags, and I have a hard time getting rid of things because I think there's a use for them. So that is my other toxic trait, I guess. That and having a humongous death pile that is ridiculous in our basement. Our death pile is so bad, we contemplated renting a storage unit for like 2 months just to get our life together. I don't recommend that. That's kind of ridiculous. We'd end up spending like $300 literally just to get our life together. It's even more stupid when we talk about like the big purchase we made last year. So I'm going through and I'm looking stuff up. Remember, when you look things up, don't just look at the sold, or don't just look at what's listed. Go through and look at the solds. Look at completeds too to see how long something's been on the market. So I looked those up. There was a bunch listed, but nothing had been sold. Scrubs, they weigh nothing, and I will get them and lot them together, especially if they're a specific pattern. Disney ones and like vintagey ones like Cabbage Patch Kids and stuff like that, I will pick up. This is Care Bears. So I will pick up those scrubs and I will lot them all together, usually by size. Sometimes if I can get them all down to size and character. That was Avengers scrubs. And most of the time you can get scrubs fairly cheaply, and again, they weigh nothing. So at the bins, I know I'm not really paying anything for them. I will say, and I've talked about this, when we have hovered by people that were cleaning out their carts. I had 2 ladies kind of hovering around where I was throwing stuff back. And again, I did tell them that one of the things had paint on it, one of the towels had paint on it. A Furby, this sucker works. It is not a first gen Furby. I had a first gen Furby. This is a second gen Furby, but they still sell for like $30. So I picked up a second generation Furby and had to try a lot to make sure that neither one of my younger two children found out that this Furby was in the house. And I don't know, those of you that thrift and sell, if you've ever had to be like, man, I've got to make sure so-and-so doesn't see this item that I'm going to sell because they're going to like go crazy over it. Or if you've ever had to shop your own inventory, and we've done that a couple times. One for a family in need. They had a house fire and they needed specific clothing, specific sizes. So I was able to go through my eBay inventory and just kind of pull out some items that we had of those sizes and give them to the family. You know, it's a good thing to do. Did I give them like $100 items? No, but I had items there. Like winter coats and stuff that I was able just to pull and give to them, which was nice. I've had to go and shop my items before for like, oh my gosh, there's a concert in 2 days and my kid needs black dress pants and he outgrew his that he had 2 weeks ago. So let's go see what I have in my inventory. So doing stuff like that does work. I need to go back into my inventory. This is a lot of vintage sheets. This is, you can tell it's vintage, you can see through it. It's polyester. It's like a reddy orangey color. It's got the white stripe on it. I'm making sure there are no obvious holes. I obviously will, and the tag is so old, I measure all of these when I list them and kind of approximate sizes, but with flat sheets, I'll just measure them because sometimes people just use them for fabric. I don't know if you've seen like the shorts or like the TikToks or reels or whatever you watch it on, where people take like old bed sheets and stuff and make dresses out of them because the fabric is vintage or there's like a specific design. I don't know how I got down the rabbit hole, but I started getting people making dresses out of old Disney sheets. Speaking of Disney, this is a Moana skirt, and I should list it because Moana 2 just came out, so people may be very interested in the Moana skirt. Also, really liked Moana 2. I was a little worried because it's a 2. They added a lot of side characters. I'm not sure if I'm okay with that, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It was decent. Do I regret spending the money to go to the movie theater? No. We went to one of those fancy dancy movie theaters that have the recliners that move up and down. And this is the first time we'd taken our kids to one of them and seen a movie. And they were just like, oh my God. So unfortunately, they're going to want to see every movie in one of those theaters with recliners, which is super nice. But they have to take Dramamine because it's a bit of a drive to get to one. So more sheets. This isn't necessarily vintage, but it's got a very much Lily Pulitzer vibe. And some aesthetics, even if they're not vintage, I will pick up. This is like a wall tarp. It's the fake silk, whatever the fake silk is. I forget what that's called. But it's like a yoga wall thing you hang on your wall. Again, fake silk. Rayon, maybe? I don't know. It would definitely melt. It would not light on fire. It would not smell like burning hair. It would melt. This is the fitted sheet. And sometimes I do pick up fitted sheets if they fit our beds because we have kids and you all know kids run sheets and you can only wash them so many times before they're just trash. So thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe and have a productive day.